Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Baba Is You, where we have this good positive puzzle momentum going. Let's take advantage of it. I mean, obviously I'm aware that in the first episode we were solving a puzzle roughly every 2 minutes, and in the second episode the number was worse, it was somewhat worse than that, and maybe I've noted the rate of change and extrapolated to figure out that we're gonna completely run out of gas sometime before the end of this episode, perhaps, but I'm not worried, because why would I? Anyway, let's just try to keep going, shall we? So we've got some unfinished levels in the Solitary Island and in the Temple Ruins, and I do absolutely want to finish everything, but I think for right now we're gonna continue on. We're gonna keep seeing new things. We'll come back and try to figure out stuff that has stumped us in the past at some other point. For the moment, let's keep learning. Let's keep seeing new things. Let's all go to the hop, shall we? So here we are in level Fall 1, and we do have a new keyword. I was assuming there would be a new keyword. Love is telly. We don't know the rules of telly yet, but I have a guess. I just have this wild feeling. Hey, what a surprise. And then it's trying to tell us that, yeah, if we sit here and wait. So every cycle, a thing that is on an object that is telly gets moved to another copy of that object. We have no idea how this would function if there were more than two things. Obviously, it doesn't matter here, but, just something to be aware of for later, because who knows, it might come up. So, what exactly am I trying to do here? How am I going to get to the flag? The flag is in a moat of defeat. Well, I mean, like, we're going to need... How does this work? Can I... Okay. There we go. I mean, obviously, we're going to need to do some pushing, right? They gave us this word for a reason. So... we could make love is push, and then use the... Here, let me just draw it out while I'm talking about it. We can make love is push, and then use the words to shove the love under the flag, and then teleport the flag out. Here, we just need, like, any word. Bam, and then we gotta make love is telly, which we can do, just barely. Well, okay. I suppose we have solved a problem. I've created a different problem. We could... I can't make love is push again. Like, this is a fine solution if we can get the water, or if we get the heart back out of the water. But we can't, right? Because if I make love is push again, then we no longer have the ability to actually push the heart. I can't move telly out of the way because it's trapped against the fence. I done goofed it here. All right, hold on. Let's wind it back. Let's give this another shot. I'm reasonably sure about this part. I think this thing does need to happen. Okay. So now that we have all of the words over here, how are we going to get the flag out of the moat? Because it does... What is a version of this thing that is any different than the thing I just did? Okay, hey, I have an idea. I have a thought. What if we constructed an elaborate system that used the teleporting nature of the heart to constantly rewrite the rules? Like, okay, do this. Make love not push anymore. Hold on. This is gonna be great. Okay. That and that. No, wait, there's no way to get that back. I was gonna try to set up basically like a switch so that love was constantly, the words telly and push were constantly teleporting back and forth, so that it would be push on half the cycles and telly on the other half of the cycles. But now that I'm looking at this, I can't imagine how I thought that was gonna work. And anyway, I guess if that was the case, then as we're pushing the heart around, it would just, like... Okay, I saw it, yep. As I was pushing the heart around, trying to get it under the flag, it would just, like, remove parts of the moat first. But yeah, of course it would. First of all, of course it would. But secondly, that's what you're supposed to be doing here, I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I see it. So if we move... Okay, we still want to make... I'm pushing the blocks in ways that don't help here. You need to get down here. I think we do, in fact, want to do the thing I was just thinking about, and remove a piece of the moat using the incredible teleporting powers of love. The thing about love is, it's so magical. Look at that. Problem solved. Hold on, let's... this, and then we can just walk into the... Yep, okay. Turns out to be relatively simple. Got fixated there on trying to get the flag out. Wasn't thinking about how we could just get in instead. Alright. Jump. It's like hop, but more so. Get it? Let's see what we're looking at here. So this is fundamentally a pretty similar puzzle, but obviously the difficulty is that Love is Telly is on the other side of the thing. So... how... So we can't move... Obviously, we can't move the idea of Love is Telly across, because you'd have to bring it across one part at a time, and any part of it moving over breaks it. We could bring the push over. We probably still have to, right? I'm sure it still is the case that you have to make Love is push. There we go. So if we make Love is push... how does that actually help us, though? We can... So we can't teleport across... If we teleport across any word in Love is Telly, we can no longer bring things across. Unless... if we brought the hearts closer together, we could stretch a... we could try to, like, stretch a phrase over the river. No, it's still not going to allow us to have Love be Telly. Because the core problem here, if we were going to solve this in the same way that we solved the last one, the core problem is that we have to have the phrase Love is push on this side of the river while we have Baba on that side of the river. But making the phrase Love is push disables our teleportation. Unless we find some way to use the teleporting quality of the heart to create Love is push, which we can't do while Love is Telly unless we have a second copy of either the word love or the word is, which we don't, and we have no way to make that happen. Alright, I'm not going to stress too much about this. We'll come back to this one before the end of the episode and give it another look. For now, let's just continue on the normal numbered levels here. And I'll just think about that. Okay, there's a lot going on. Key is pull. So, yeah, I mean, it sure is. Does it? Okay, it doesn't follow you if you move off axis. And while it is pull, it can't be pushed, but it does still have collision, so you can't walk through it. Which is interesting. Can we make... Kiki is Kiki and Kiki is move. Can we make Kiki pull it somehow? Kiki's not push, so we can't redirect Kiki. Right, except that the whole point of this puzzle is to teach you how to use pull. We're not supposed to redirect Kiki with push, we're supposed to redirect Kiki with pull. So, hold on, let me get over here. Okay, but I looked right at that, and I was like, well, Kiki's not push, so in what other way could we possibly move Kiki? I bet that you could do a fascinating study of, like, the way logic works in human minds just by watching people play Baba Is You. Alright, so if we like, Sokoban ourselves up, a Kiki is pull. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Still very clumsy, obviously. Alright, so turn Kiki so Kiki's going sideways. Then reassemble Kiki's move. Make Key is pull again. And then we just bring the key up into... because if it's not clear, there's no way for us to pull the key through here, because when we get to right there with the key right there, we'd have to turn and then just abandon it. I realized I didn't say that out loud, but he should probably just do this for us. And then I can just go up and catch the key. Yeah, look at that. And box is shut and has flag, and the flag is win. So easy enough. Ooh, I said easy enough, but actually, how do I make this be in the same space as the box? Because I can't move the box. Oh, I can make Kia's move, though. The key doesn't have obvious... oh, no, I cannot make Kia's move, can I? Because there's no way to get the words... Yeah, No, we can't make Kiki into a key because we have this thing happening. So we're close. We don't have access to box. We can't make box pull. How do we actually make the key interact with the box? Oh, the box is sorry. The box doesn't have collision. I just do this. I can move stuff over it. Yeah, I was assuming that I would not be able to intersect with the box, because, you know, that's how space works. Generally, two objects not occupying the same thing. Alright, it has been a little bit of a rocky road so far. Also, now I want rocky roads. So love is telly and is push. This is gonna end up being fundamentally pretty similar to the last one. Oh, except, okay, I guess I can't move over there while love is push. Right, because if I try to step on the heart, I'll just shove it. Oh, but you know what? On this one, I think we're actually going to be able to do the thing I was kind of trying to do on the last one. Now, love is no longer push, so we can just teleport over, but obviously this doesn't solve our problem. Love is hot, rock is defeat, water is melt, and also defeat. But check this noise out. Alright, let that teleport back over. So now, love is always telly, and half the time it's push. So we want to let it move over. Just keep passing the turn. There we go. And then is this going to be a problem? Whatever, it's fine. Nope, wait, that's exactly wrong. Sorry, we have to pass a turn, let love become push again, then push the heart down. Pass the turn, push the heart down. Okay, there we go. So hey, what do you know? That idea I had was a good one for a different puzzle. A different puzzle than the one that we were operating on. I'm trying to, I apologize if the pacing's a little bit awkward here. I'm trying to explain enough of my thought process during the puzzles that you guys can kind of like follow along with what's happening in my brain. But also not go so slowly that people get super bored. It's a weird balance to have to strike. So apologies if I'm not doing a great job. Tree is stop, text is float, door is shut and stop, wall is also stop, flag is win, key is push. So, key is open, the door is shut, and the door is between us and the flag. And then we have two teleporter spaces, but I'm not 100% sure how we're supposed to use... Okay, so... Obviously, we can walk the little Baba in the lower thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to make the ice telly before that. It makes any sense to do. Alright, so now we have access to key is push, and the key itself. We can shove the key... I mean, I guess that's it, right? We wanna shove the key through the trees. So we like do this, and then we create the phrase key is push vertically and just force it upward. And I have to be a little... I'm actually gonna I'm gonna turn off the teleportation qualities of the ice. I think that's gonna cause some problems for us. This is a little awkward to get a hold of here. How do I don't want to necessarily... I guess we're not going to need the ice thing anymore. But I think I want to... I want to reorient the two Babas relative to each other a little bit here. To make our lives a little bit easier. Nope, I've made things so much worse. Hold on. Alright, so... You move 2 more spaces to the right, because that way... Upper Baba can be out here in the open, while lower Baba is pressing these things. Alright, and then you just... Oh, right, I was thinking I'd be able to just shove the key right through the trees like we did with the love through the water in the first level, but no. What am I thinking? Tree is stop, obviously. But we could do it with words, right? I could shove words through the trees. Because the words are float, is that correct? No. The trees being stop is not negated by the words being float. So, how does it help me to get the word key? Or like, how does it help me to come out here and play with the key then? We could push the key, or we could push the key and the words key is push back through the ice teleporter and get them in here. We can make key is... We can make flag is key, which does not help us. In fact, if anything, makes the puzzle harder, because there's no longer a way to win. We can make key is wall, which is even worse. Flag is push doesn't help. So bringing words back through there doesn't really assist us. We would need, in order to get the key near the door, we would need there to be another patch of ice. Yeah, let me restart the puzzle. We need there to be a patch of ice up here or something, right? Because there's no way to get through right now. Can I make the ice push? Is there a way to do that? No. The trees are between those two words. If I could, though, that would definitely give us some interesting options, yeah. We can make Baba is ice, which kills us, so that's less good. We can make ice is you. We can make ice is Baba is you. That would create ice. Okay, hold on a second. I'm maybe onto something here. If we go... That's not how you do that. Sorry. If we turn... we can make anything in here Telly. We can make Baba Telly. Yeah. I don't need to turn Baba into ice. We could just make Baba Telly when it makes sense to do that. So we use ice is Telly right now to bring the key through the ice right here. Oops, I gotta... hold on, let me rewind this a little bit. That's an easier version of that thing. Okay. Then we make Baba is Telly. Right. But the key has to, obviously, first of all, I have to not unmake ourselves, but secondly, the key has to not be push anymore for this to work. So let me... For the moment, let me disable key as push. Then, I have to be really careful. It's really easy to accidentally kill yourself when you're controlling multiple bodies. So that teleports the key over. Then, ice has to become Telly again, because otherwise, we have to reactivate key as push. So key is push again, and there we go. That solves the puzzle, right? Hey, look at that. We got there with a minimum of fumbling. Eventually, we did it. Right, we only need 3 more levels. There are so many levels, or there's so many puzzles in this particular world. I'm surprised by the very small number of them that we have to solve to get the flower. Alright, we got spooky ghosts. Ghosts are Telly, Baba is you, Leaf is defeat. Foliage is stop. Okay, so the sprite that is 3 leaves is foliage. And we also have a push. And we... Okay. So in order to actually make this winnable, we have to come down here and plug in an is, but we don't have access to a lot of spare is. Well, one problem at a time. Let's start with what I think is right. Let's make Ghost push. Sorry, no, not there. Here. Do that, right? And then Ghost is Telly. And then Ghost is neither. And this, like, now we have access to the heart. We could win if only. And then we have to figure out how to get an is between love and win without dying. So we can't use this phrase up here at all, right? Leaf certainly can't be you in order to guarantee that we have an us, because leaf is defeat. And there's no way to stop leaf from being defeat. We could make... If foliage... Oh boy, if foliage wasn't stopped, the puzzle sure would be easier. Hey, if the rules were totally different, can you imagine? How are we supposed to do this? We totally need another is. Because the way things are right now... love is win is the only phrase that we can create with this is. It's not possible for anything to be you, because of the fact that there's something that is stop in this space, so we can't make a cross again. So how are we supposed to do that then? It must be the case that you can use the words from leaf as defeat somehow, because the puzzle's not possible otherwise. At least it doesn't look like it. So what would... You could make leaf is... Really, we should get that is out of there, or that we could access foliage as stop at all. We can make something else telly, but it doesn't really help us to do so. Make something else push, but again, it doesn't accomplish anything. We can make ghost is... No. I'm pretty blocked on how you would get this is down... You literally can't. You can't get this is down to there without dying. So that must not be the puzzle then? That must not be the thing? If we... We can't change the row of any of the words in Baba Is You. Those words are row locked. We can change their columns, but if we ever change the row of one of them without changing the row of all of them, we immediately die. So that being the case, there's probably something very simple here that I'm missing. Because it feels like it's early in the world, right? For it to be super complicated. Boy, I sure don't see it. We could push the ghosts around. Alright, hold on. Let me reset the puzzle. R. Here we go. Oh, right. We could use the ghosts to teleport words around. As long as the ghosts aren't push. Well, if the ghosts aren't push, we can't push them onto words, though. But, like, if we could get... Let me experiment with something a little bit. Like, yeah, that doesn't work. If it did, only. I mean, we can use the ghost to teleport other words around, though. We could use the ghost to teleport... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Like, we could place a ghost in this position, right? And teleport the word is onto the thing. This way in Baba's You. Okay, hold on a second. Is that actually the solution? It might well be. Alright, let's do this part first. We do need to get the leaf out of the way. The leaf getting out of the way is pretty important. Okay. Then we have to make ghost is push again. So actually, hold on, you have to get over here. This is a little tricky, because I can't push the ghost while the leaf is on it. Right, because it just kills us immediately. But we do need these two ghosts to be free of the leaf. I could use words. So I need to break this for a second. We need to get a word free to use as a battering ram effectively. Wait, am I just creating the problem elsewhere if I do this? Because then we have the word telly on top of the leaf, which also doesn't work, which is also a problem. Yes, that does create an issue. Right, and this is like a real... It feels like I'm close. It feels like I'm close, so it's frustrating to step into a new problem. Well, okay, we're just going to have to leave that where it is for right now. So... the next part of the plan relies on us getting... If we had one of the ghosts like here, we break ghost is push, we push the phrase Baba is you over so that the is over the ghost, and then we make ghost is telly. Baba is you will break when is teleports, but then is will teleport back. So we'll only be able to move on every other cycle, but eventually we'll be able to move on to the heart, and then the next cycle, love is win, will happen. But Baba is you won't be true during that time. Yeah, shoot, this doesn't actually work. Every other cycle, either Baba is you or love is win, but it is never the case that both are true. Shoot, I thought I had it for a second there. I really thought I had a plan. Alright, we'll come back to this one too. We're just taking looks at things, we're assessing situations, we're figuring stuff out. Gosh, I wish I had a ghost friend. I wish I felt like these ghosts were out for anything other than my own blood. Alright, flag is you. Also, Baba is you. Baba is Baba and you. Ghost is ghost and weak. Ghost is pull and could be move. And we need to make something win. My ability to move around is somewhat constrained by the flag is you, skull is defeat situation over here. So the idea is... the word flag is way over there. So we can't just make, like, ghost is win, because ghost is weak, right? So if I tried to step onto it to win, I would just obliterate it. But I'm really not 100% clear on how we would get the word flag, because the ghost being pull doesn't mean that it can pull other things, it means that it can be pulled. Right, so in order for it to grab flag and push flag over, either text would have to be pull, or we'd have to have a way of maneuvering the ghost behind the word flag, which we could do if we could walk over there and just push flag down enough, but I obviously can't do that. Unless I desync Baba's position from the flag's position somehow, which is doable. So how would we construct a situation where we could do that? Is that even possible? What happens if ghost is move right now? Well, I mean, obviously it's going to break ghost is pull, which doesn't help anything. If we move the ghost a little bit, though. Nope, sorry, sorry there. Sorry, friend. I'm actually kind of curious what would happen if the ghost just runs into me. Will he die? I'm assuming the answer is yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I can't use the ghost to, like, reorient myself. I was thinking, if it was the case that we gave the ghost collision by him being pull, and then we just, like, pressed left against him, while Baba couldn't move into his space, then it would allow us to move the flag left without moving Baba left. This is a cunningly constructed puzzle right here. There's a lot of places where we're almost able to accomplish something, just very nearly. One thing we could do. What row or what column are we in right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never mind. I was going to say we could make all of these words into one long line, press them against the left side of the screen, and then try to use that as a block to move the flag leftward, but we'd never be able to move the flag. Well, I mean, we actually never... Hold on a second. We would be able to move the flag one space further left than Baba is. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. And if we do this, I can press left a couple of times. That lets me move Baba a little closer. And then I need to figure out... There's not really another way for me to, unfortunately, for me to move the flag even further left. If we could get the flag 3 spaces left, we could get Baba to here, wrap around the corner, and then push the flag all the way back while Baba's in the middle of the room. But actually, I don't even know if that would be enough space to let me get... I'd have to get all the way over here in order to push the word flag around. The Ghost is Wind doesn't help us because there's no way for us to occupy the same space as the Ghost as long as Ghost is weak. Baba can be pull. Baba can be pull. Ghost is move, Baba is pull. Lets us... Yep. That's what it is. So we have to pull the Ghost away so that I can do this without killing him. It doesn't really matter which Baba we use for this, I don't think. Okay, but if Baba is pull and Ghost is move, then the way I've done this is a little not ideal, because we're going to have to wait for the Ghost to come all the way back here. Alright. Let him walk past us. And now, as he continues... Yeah, there we go. We just pass the turn over and over again. He walks us over to here. And now I can do this. I can just push the word flag back instead of having to have the Ghost interact with it at all. There we go. I got there eventually. So we just make flag is win and we immediately win because flag is us. That's a cool one. I really like that one. And I do feel like that Ghost was my friend. Well, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. There's certainly a square of crates. Okay, this one probably won't be that hard, I'm guessing, just based on the fact that there's a very limited number of things we can do here, because there's so little room to play with. So, currently, flag is melt. If we were to press these words over to the left to make flag is win, it would also mean that water is hot, so the flag is immediately destroyed. Currently, flag is pull. If we make... Currently, flag is pull and brick is hot. So if we ran over here to grab the flag and yank it out of the water, it just dies immediately because the brick is hot. So... We can break flag is pull by pushing the word and over to the left, which will, once we have flag is win assembled, that will allow us to step onto it. The boxes are pull as well. So, we could assemble... Okay, I have an interesting idea. I have an idea that's interesting to me. I'm not going to assume it's interesting to any... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking we can create a situation here where all of these boxes are in a line. I don't actually know how this is going to work. This might not work. But with the boxes being pull and the flag being pull, if I move left right now, I think it will pull all the boxes. It will pull this box, which will pull that box, which, it'll pull all the things together. And at the same time, it will turn the brick from being hot to defeat, which... I don't know if the timing is going to work out on this, but this might move the flag over as the properties swap here. Okay, it totally did. Now, we can't touch the bricks. The bricks are defeat. But I can just move some of these boxes out of the way, right? And then... Oh, the flag's not Paul anymore. Stupid. Gotta not change that thing just yet. I do need to be able to walk on the flag eventually, but this is not my moment. There we go. I'm gonna come down here. We cannot press on the flag, but let's just move it out of the way. Hold on. Let me move this out of the way too, because as things stand right now, I'm just a little concerned about accidentally getting myself stuck. Okay, flag is win, and now does not have collision. Okay. Yeah, like I said, that one wasn't so bad because there was actually a super limited number of possibilities there for any move. Oh, this world has numbers and die pips and letters. Okay, literacy, sure, it's the levels with the letters, that makes sense. Well, let's find out if we know how to read. Me is you. Uh-oh, I'm having trouble right away. This is me? Okay. It is now impossible to talk about what is going on in these puzzles. So me is you, rock is push, flag is win. What? Okay. Again, we're in a situation where we don't have a lot of options. Let's push the rock to here. This allows me to retrieve the word text, which we take back into the main... Oops. Apparently wall is bad. Yeah, wall is defeat. Must be careful how many times we press the arrow keys. No, wait, this is bad. We have to push the rock back into the main room first. And then go and retrieve the word. Otherwise, stuff's gonna get stuck. Okay, and now, very, very few options. Basically, we have text is you and me is text. I'm actually extremely... This is absolutely going to kill us, but I'm really curious what'll happen. Okay, so the object becomes text of its name. That's cool. But it's text is you, right? And then we are like the phrase rock is push, and we can just walk over to the flag? Yeah. Oh, that's a problem. Wall is defeat, and if the text is you, then any movement kills the phrase flag is win. Oh, that's super cool. What do I do about it, though? That's a really neat idea. Yes, if text is you, then any movement at all makes it impossible to win. And we're still left with extremely few options. Like, literally all we can do is me is you and text is you, right? Oh, except wall is defeat. Wall is not stop. So we can push stuff outside of the wall. How do I use that? Because right, I could do this. How do we use that? How does it help us to be able to push text outside the wall? I could make wall as text happen. That's funny. I don't know if it helps, but so it makes well, if wall is text, then nothing is defeat, and all the text that represents the wall is pushable. So I can just walk through it. Yeah, there you go. That is a Baba is US puzzle right there. This game is so cool. Alright, we did it. Flower number 4. So... Hey, you know what I just realized? It says Baba is you and flag is win in the corner of the map. There are rules on this screen. Yeah. And it probably doesn't matter. It is weird, though, that there's this rule saying explicitly Baba is you, but then clearly this little like box cursor thing is you. So what were the requirements? Was it 7 and 5? Yeah. Huh. I sort of want to just skip out on the rest of the fall area and go to Deep Forest to see if we can get to 5 flowers. No, let's spend the rest of the episode in the Forest of Fall and try out the rest of these levels. Alright, B, Broken Playground. B is for Broken Playground. This is a very depressing episode of Sesame Street. Water is text, or water is telly, text is float, and the phrase is win is up there in its own little box. Wall and box is stop. So, I mean, is there a reason not to just come... Oh, right. I was going to say, is there a reason not to just come into the corner and get is win and take them out here? But you can't. You can't do that. Hey, here's a problem. Doesn't that make it impossible? No, it does not make it impossible for us to win. We just have to make something into text. So that we have to push something through the teleporter, an object, not a word, and then make it into a word on the other side, because if we make it into a word over here, it'll be floating and it won't be able to teleport. So in order for that to be the case, we need 2 copies of something. So we just make box is flag. Right? This seems like a little bit simple for it to be the solution. Well, how would we get it through the teleporter now, though? Nothing is push. So... I knew it. I knew it couldn't be that easy. So how would we... I mean, it has to be... Then it has to be you. We have to walk one of them through the teleporter. And then we have to come back down here and make Kiki as you. And we have to go... Flag is... Oh, we have to go flag is box. We have to turn one of them back into the other object. Because if we do flag as text right now, it will transform both of them. Which we don't want, because then there will be no way to win. So then... Oh, shoot. That did turn both of them into boxes, though. What was my plan here? Shoot. How do we do this? Because we need to have 2 different here, let's just talk through our problem. Alright, let's move the word box out of the way. If we make flag as text, then we have the word flag twice, and it's now possible. Well, if I hadn't moved this flag into the corner without paying attention, it's now possible for us to build the phrase flag is win, right? But then there's no way to turn the word back into an actual flag, right? Like that doesn't... Right, that would just make it so I can't turn objects that are flags into other objects. I could make text... Oops, that's not what I want. I can make text as flag, but that's actually really bad. Because now it's now no part of the puzzle functions at all. It is a fun thing to get to do, though. Alright, restart. I thought I had it. So... let's walk an object into the upper right area. Right, the reason that you have to have 2 of the object is that after the object walks into the upper right, you still have to have an object down here to push the words around. So... And of the 3 objects that we have, the Kiki and the box and the flag, only one of them is stop, so it matters a lot that you don't end up with boxes win, because you would never be able to walk onto the box. So I kind of feel maybe we were headed in the right direction, and I just I stopped like a step early because I panicked and couldn't see my way to the end. Box is flag. Oh, there we go. Flag is you. One of the flags walks in here. And then hold on, how do I do this? Here we go. Use the ability to move that further to the left. It's pretty important that this flag not get stuck in the corner like it did last time. It's okay for it to be there. It's okay for it to be against the wall, I think. Although it doesn't have to be. We can just do this thing. Okay, and now it's at least... Now we can push it around to our heart's content. Okay. So. Now, we need to somehow transform... We want to turn this flag in the upper right into text, but then we need an object down here that can be a flag so that I can touch it. So we have to... How do we do that? If we make ourselves control the flag, we can turn Kiki... it doesn't matter if Kiki's a box or not. Right, the only thing that matters about Kiki right now is that Kiki is an object that is not also a flag. But we can't turn the flag into anything else, it'll change both of them. So... This is actually pretty tough. We can make the flag win now. If we do so, by turning flag into text, and then assembling the phrase flag is win up here, we end up in a situation where we just have one object left, and it's Kiki, and there's no way to make a flag anymore. And we can't even make the phrase Kiki is flag or anything like that, because we don't have the ability to, move Kiki around without uncompleting Kiki is you. We could try... This one's actually pretty tricky, I think. If we turn flag into box, it affects both the flags. It leaves us with no... effectively no objects. This is actually quite difficult. Or rather, like a lot of the puzzles in this game, and I think this is what makes this game really work for me, and I think there's a whole genre of puzzle games where this is true. None of the puzzles are difficult in terms of like, wow, there are so many steps and it's so intricate. They're all conceptual puzzles, right? So it's not that it's difficult. The actual answer is simple. You just have to see it, and seeing it is difficult. Whereas, as opposed to something like, in a game like Exapunks, for example, you can have a solution conceptually and still have difficulty with the implementation step. In Baba Is You, implementation is pretty straightforward. If we make flag is box or... Right now, either box or Kiki must be you. If we make flag as you, that allows us to turn Kiki into something else. Why does it matter that boxes stop? That's a bit of the puzzle that I haven't really grasped yet, and it might turn out to be a very important bit of the puzzle. Why does it matter that box is stop? Alright, I'm calling it on this one. I'm temporarily giving up. Let's look at what else we have available. There's still a couple of levels we haven't even looked at yet. Falsy is certainly fetching, so text is push, Kiki is hot. I mean, who could possibly disagree with that? Ghost is defeat and melt. Flag is not win, and won't be, until we can get that skull to move on to it. We also have the word weak down here. So is there a way for me to... We can make that Kiki you at some point. We could do a Kiki is you vertically, and then have Kiki push the skull if skull was push. Text is push doesn't do anything. Hold on, this is accomplishing nothing. Text is always push. Alright, let me fiddle with this a little bit. So I mean, like, the thing that seems pretty obvious so far, right, is that Kiki... we can't do Kiki is you and skull is push. We are limited. We are limited on use. Also, this is a problem. If Kiki is you, then Skull is murder Kiki all the way to death. Skull can't be weak. Text? What if Text is weak? Does that work? Can you do that? Because if Text is weak, it would seem that we have a lot of options for fiddling with the puzzle, right? Okay. So Text, because Text is always push, it will push first. But you can eventually kill it. You just have to press it against something. So... But when we make Text is weak, we can't retrieve our is. So Text is weak has to be the last step of whatever we do? That's a little tricky, because we need Text is weak to be true before we take control of Kiki, right? Because we need to be able to destroy Skull's defeat. Well, now that we've destroyed Skull's defeat, though, what could we do with that? Where's the head? Okay, head just stop is down here. There's no way for us to break that. I was gonna say, if we could just break that rule while Text is weak, that makes our lives really easy. So I can just walk over here and... Oh wait, the ghost is still defeat. Ghost is... how would we fix that? Skull is push, and then Skull is hot would do it. And then we just walk over onto the flag, and it won't do anything, but I'll feel good because the flag is usually a friend to us. Text is weak gives you some really interesting options. I guess you know how we can make Kiki you now. Problem solved. Except that also other problems created. But that's like some version of that's a version of some of the parts of the solution. So the question then is, how do you get the rest of the solution done? The problem is that if we rely on that method to make Kiki is you, then the puzzle's not winnable. Because we can't get back out. So Baba is you has to also be true. Oh no, wait, we can totally get the Text back. We can totally get the is back. We just have to destroy the weak. And then we can push the Text upward. So wait, let's go ahead and start with that step. Text is weak. You know that guy who said that thing about the pen being mightier than the sword? That guy's an idiot. Alright. Oops, that's not pushes you. No good. NG. Alright. Skull is push. Kill push. Skull is hot. You know, like my skull. Like everybody's skull. People's skulls are just hot. That's just how it is. There's no longer a reason for Text to be weak, right? So smashing this doesn't break anything. Now we make Kiki is you. Kiki makes flag is win. And then Baba just walks over to the flag. That's pretty cool. I feel like I like the ones that feel really weird. Then again, it may well be the case that the ones that we're getting frustrated on and finding ourselves unable to complete are that way because they're even really weirder. Alright, Baba is you, Text push, flag is win, Skull is defeat, wall is stop, and as far as we know, none of those are mutable. So boy, so what? So what do we do with that information? We push. We can push some words through the skull wall, and then maybe make Text is you happen, and right? Like if I let's say I do this. We'll use the word text. I use the word text to push this through here. There's no way to retrieve the word text. And we need that word. That's an important word. But if we can get a word on the other side of the skull wall and then make text as you, things work out okay, except that whatever word we use to push a thing past the skull wall is going to be on the skull wall, and so we'll die from skull as defeat the moment we make text as you. So it has to be a word that's extraneous to the strategy. And push is really the only such word. But we can't push, like, we need text and Baba is you all on this side, because we had to make that change. I suppose it's also worth noting that there's currently no way to move the row that this is in. Like, we can't push it down, so... Well, no, that's not true. Sorry. I can make text as you. And then we can just walk the whole damn thing around. Although I suppose it's worth noting that once I make text as you, there's no way to go back. No, that's not true. If I press up against the yeah. Now there's no way to undo this now, though. Alright, well, we have some interesting options on this one. How do we... Because obviously, no part of the phrase text as you can be over the skull. Because it would be immediately deleted and then we would lose. We just need any word to get past there. Yeah, I don't see how to do this one. Making stuff push doesn't help. Well, if we made text is you, then making Baba is push would help. We could push Baba. Can we do that? Can I make text as you and Baba is push? How would I have to assemble this for that to work? So if I press text as you up, then we end up with Baba in this space. How does that help me? We could... I'm just gonna fiddle with it for a second. Sorry, this may not end up being productive. Right, so now we have control of all the text, and if we push all the way right to the edge of the room, and then right one more time, now text is you and Baba is push, so we can move Baba around. Is this helpful? Does this accomplish anything at all? I don't know, but it's neat. It's another thing we can do. So this allows us to... What does this allow us to do? It does allow us technically to push Baba through the wall, but not in a useful way, because in order to do so I would have to sacrifice the word you, which obviously makes the puzzle difficult to solve. Could I have assembled this could I have assembled this so that text is you is the vertical part? No, right? Because there's no way to replace the fact that Baba is you is horizontal means the text is you necessarily is horizontal. We can't change the relationship between is and you. Because I was just thinking, if we could push... Because we could push Baba past the wall like this. Oh, this totally solves it. And then we press that into the corner. There we go. Yeah, the issue... I was like, well, we could afford to lose the word push. That wouldn't cost us very much. So if we could assemble the words in a different order, so that push was on the right, then that would solve all of our problems. But it turns out you just have to be a little bit smarter with your positioning. I feel a little stressed out by some of these. Maybe it would be good to take a nice break here at the scenic pond. Kiki has text. What text? Right? What does that mean? Okay, hold on. Text is defeat. That's not a huge problem because all text is push, right? I can still put I can still push words around. Water is sink and skull is sink. Flag is win, so in order to make anything win, we have to maneuver something up into this area so that we can move the word flag around. Skull has wall, and wall is stop. So if we were to destroy the skull by having anything touch it while it is sink, which would annihilate both of them, then it will become a wall, which obviously is a bad time for us. Also, here's a wall. How does that help? And this is a picture of water that is... This is the icon of water. So if we turned this into text, we would have water is float. How would we do that? Also, I'm kind of curious. Hold on. We're gonna intentionally die here to test something. What happens if Baba has text? Is it the text Baba? Yes, okay, it is the text that represents the name of the thing. So that's interesting, right? That means that we could... No, that doesn't actually help that much. We can basically only get the text Baba or Kiki from that, because those are the two things that can be you. Or... Okay, we could make text has something, though, and then push some text into the water. Is that useful? If we did like text has Baba, because we can make an infinite chain of things this way, right? Text has Baba. Push Kiki into the water, which will create a Baba, and then we could... I had to desync these two a little bit. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Right, now we can make Baba has text, and we could sacrifice Baba to this water spot, but then that's just going to create the word Baba in a situation where we don't really have any way to affect it. We just make so many Babas. Like, this gives us a lot of ability to play around, but I don't know how we make it useful. I mean, it has to be this Baba has nothing, right? And then we do that, and that actually creates the opening. Then we have skull is sink, and like obviously this is a problem, like I was saying. So how do we deal with that part? The skull has to be... If Baba is float... No, we can't do that, right? I can't get the... Okay, hold on. I was gonna say, I can't get the words is float out of here, but the water is sink. So what we could do is make a Baba has text, push lose a Baba to the water, that'll make Baba is float. Baba can float over the skull, but then Baba floats over... I wish float was a little bit more intuitive to me. Alright, hold on. So we might have been in the right place there. Text has Baba. Let's decouple these. Alright, text has Baba. Do this. Then Baba has text. There we go. Sometimes when you're partway through a solution, it looks like you're doing a weird Yoda acrostic. So if Baba has text, we do this. Baba is float. And now I float past the water in the skull, right? But I also... no, I don't float over text. Things that are push are fine. Yeah, see, my problem is that I can't remember how float works because it's not consistent. Like, some things you can't interact with while floating, but some things you can. So we need to not be float anymore so that we can touch the flag. Yeah. I think I probably would have seen that a little bit faster if the rules for float made more sense in my head. So we've gone past the numbers into a special area and then through that special area into a different special area. Here in the deep part of the pool. It's very similar, except there's no way in here, and also the has float text is gone. So this looks like harder. This is probably you're gonna have to do some version of that, like text has Baba, Baba has text, text is you. Wait. Does text is you not just solve it? Wait a minute. No. Text is defeat is the thing. Yep, that's why text is you doesn't just solve it. I was gonna say, well, what if I just like became the word flag and made it is win, and then right. Anytime they give you the opportunity to do text is you, they have to do something to make it not. Because if text was you, you could also break all these other definitions by like moving them to the corners of objects and then pressing down or... Okay, so I don't have any idea how you would do this one then. It probably does have something to do with like the Baba has text, text has Baba, etc. loop. Because you could, if you did it as Baba has text... No, wait, you can't do that first. It has to be text has Baba, because you can't sacrifice Baba to the water. You have to sacrifice text to the first space. That gets you a second Baba. You do Baba as text, hit this, that gives you a Baba here, and then, I don't know what exactly, but like, right, you have to do something like that, otherwise... Oh, you could burrow up here? No, I don't know. That probably doesn't help. But you have to do something that ends up with you having the ability to sink into the... Oh no, the skull's not sink anymore. I was gonna say I noticed the skull doesn't have wall, but also skull is not sink, so... If you created a bunch of instances of the word Baba and just shoved them through here, you could eventually make Baba is win. I don't know. The puzzle's probably something in that sort of direction. Let's not worry about it. We're actually, like, we've gone really long accidentally here because the game is fun. Let's just take a quick look at these other fall levels. I'm not going to make any serious attempts to solve any of these. We're just going to have a quick check in on them. And then that way you guys can kind of work them in between episodes. I can kind of look at them in between episodes, and maybe we'll come back here later and actually do them. So key is open. Fungus is shut and pull. That's this guy here. Fungus has the flag. The flag is win. Leaf is move, but leaf and foliage are both defeat. But because leaf is move, we could just get out here, right? Like, yeah. I have to be a little smart about it. But that's the most traditionally video gamey thing that's happened to us this whole time. So I don't know exactly how you would do this. I mean, obviously you have to get the fungus. The fungus is pull. So you have to get the fungus out and then somehow have it interact with the key. Key is push, but the key could be made to be pull, and you could push one of them into the other like that. I'm sure I would get a third of the way through that solution and go, "Oh man, somehow I didn't see this before, and this makes my solution not work." But at least the idea of what you're supposed to do there is pretty clear. Okay, fence is fence is not you, but fence is stop. Baba is you. Fence is... What happens if you do fence is not stop? Is that... What happens if you have a rule and that rule's negation on the screen at the same time? Fence is not stop. Okay. Wow, that one's powerful. The word not is a really powerful thing here. So then we just like do Making this way too complicated. This one's actually very straightforward. I was gonna try to like figure out if you make fences not you make fences win and then try to interact with it somehow. That seems like a lot of trouble. Catch. What is catch? How do we play catch? Rock is not push, I'm being told. It is kind of funny that we could so easily reverse that though. So rock is push. Obviously you don't want Baba to be not you. That would be a bad time. Hedge is stop and not push, and is hedge. Water is sink. So the flags already win. All you have to do is... What you have to do is figure out a way to get down here without pushing the word is down, which would prevent you from touching it yourself, right? But obviously there's a problem. It's like the most direct thing creates Baba is not you and kills you. The not is interesting. So how would you deal with this? How would you get rid of the is? Text is float, but because it's also naturally push, I can't get under it. Hey, I have a weird question. What happens if... So water is sink, right? What if I make this happen? This is probably not the solution to the puzzle. I'm just kind of curious what will occur. Then we get the word not in here. Oh, hold on. I have to make... Ooh, this is not trivial. But I'm kind of curious what happens if I make not Baba is not you. Like... From a logical perspective, what does that mean in the context of this game's logic? But in order to do that, you'd have to destroy another bit of water here, which I guess you could do now that you don't need rock to be push anymore. Like, what if I... I don't really have a plan here. Wait, let's push it down to here. And then come around. Oh, right, it floats. That prevents that from... I was going to say, if we could dig out this spot and that spot, then we could push not down into here, and then... Yeah, so that doesn't quite work. But this one's interesting. I said I wasn't going to give, like, a real effort to solving these. What? Hold on. I feel like I'm close-ish to a thing though, so I do want to try a little bit. Oh right, so if the words can just be pushed over the water, then actually we want to use the rocks to carve out the spot. How do I do this? Because we wanna open up a place for the not to be. I guess. How would I get an object into that position? Can I? We can maybe use the phrase rock is push to do some of the pushing. Right? And then... This doesn't exactly solve the problem, obviously. But... we could do some version of this thing. We can even use rock is push not to push down to here. Because, like, the next issue is that what we actually have to destroy is this space, right? So, unfortunately, there's no way to move these words over now. This is a lot of work to get not down to here when I don't even know if that solves the problem. And it may be the case that, like, what you're actually supposed to do is make Baba is not you somehow. I don't know. Getting distracted from the point that we're looking at the levels. We're just having a quick glance at them, not putting 20 minutes into solving each of them. Alright, level fall 12, dead end. Me is win and not you. One of the harshest things a video game has ever said to me. Alright, so water is water and sink, and not you. Me is win, and not you. Text is float. Box is box. Fence is stop and not you. Flag is you. Flag is not box. I mean, says you. Flag could be box. Hell, more to the point, box could be flag. So the water sink? I mean, is this... Hold on a second. This is one of those ones where I'm kind of like, oh no, box is box, so I can't make box's flag. Box is not push. Right? Probably. Listen, I don't know what the box is, but I know what it isn't. And it's not push. Does that work? Not is a powerful idea. Yeah, that totally works. There were a lot of rules there that we didn't particularly have to interact with. Alright, what about this one? This will be the last one we look at. Level fall extra 2. Even less there. So... Here you have a problem where you can't make Baba is win, because there's only one is. This one complicates it in a slightly different way. So... we can go and retrieve the word win. It's interesting that there are ghosts just hanging around that are not like part of the thing. So you can make fences win, but if you do make fences win, you can't win, because fences stop. You can make not fence. It doesn't help. Not Baba is you. Not what happens if you do not Baba is you? Interesting. It makes... Okay, don't do that. I'm not 100% sure, because it's not moving the text, it's moving everything else. So when you do not Baba is you, it makes every object that isn't Baba or text you. I was expecting it to make text also me. With text not being you have to be a little more cautious about this. But it is possible to win that way, right? Like, if I go... Fences win doesn't help. Something else has to be win. I mean... Oh, hold on. What if not fences win? Because Baba's not fence. Okay. It turns out Baba's not fence. These are starting to get really fun. These ones are really cool. Okay, I have to stop. I'm sorry. I'm having a really good time. Hopefully that's clear. I hope y'all are having as good a time. Congratulations to everybody who got there on that last one before I did, which I'm sure is a pretty significant number of you. This game rules. I'm really happy to be playing this for y'all. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we will be delving into the dark forest, the deep forest, well, whatever that next area is called, and hopefully things will go at least as smoothly there as they went here. We'll see you then.